We're living in a time of change. When you look around, is everything around you different? And if everything around you feels different, how do you maneuver in this new territory? How do you rely on your intuition when it almost feels as though you are a different person? Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another Diamond Moment. The diamonds of our lives are produced through time, heat, and pressure. It's what we do with the experiences that we have that will either cause us to remain victorious or to allow doubt and fear to enter into the situations in our lives. We've talked for a long time about utilizing the experiences that you've had in order to move forward in life. So what happens when it seems as though everything around you is changing and you are still operating from an understanding that appears to no longer exist? We're seeing that in a political environment in the United States. We're seeing that in the way that countries are interacting with other countries. We see that in our everyday lives that are impacted because of the decisions that are being made on a larger scale than what we have the personal ability to manage. So when we are looking around and we're seeing that everything has changed or is in the process of changing, and we look at our lives and what we have come to understand was the blessing from what we've experienced in life. And when you see those two sides of our existence not line up as they once did, where does that leave you? It leaves you where you've always been, because we've never known the outcome of any particular situation in our lives. We've had to live day to day until we get to that point. Many times it's so much easier looking back at retrospectively or in hindsight, and we can see exactly what has taken place. But while you're in the crux of it, where you don't know which way to go, we have an opportunity at that point to utilize the diamonds of our lives, to set them in a gold setting that allows it to become even more valuable in our day-to-day existence. There are and will continue to be times in life when we are unsure. It's everyone. It's not just, if you're younger. It's not just if you are older and experiencing one of those life changes, but it's with everyone. We all have to go back and rely on that information in order to attempt to make an informed decision on where we're going next. There's always situations in which maybe we overestimated or underestimated. There are always situations that prove to be different from what we'd initially thought. But it still takes us back to what we've experienced in the past to try to navigate experiences for the future. And that is exactly where our intuition comes in, because there are some places that we must go and some things that will take place that we have no template for. The only thing that we can say is it did work out in the end. And I think sometimes that's exactly where we are. We want to have a concrete decision made where there can be no concrete decision. We want to know in advance, and in some instances, there's no way to know in advance. And so our intuition becomes extremely important to give us the information that we're looking for to base our decisions on. But because we are unfamiliar with listening to our own higher self, our own spirit man, which is connected to God's source, the creator, the universe, we're questioning what to do. Sometimes it almost feels like we've fallen into a depression because of that uncertainty. But once again, it's going back to who you truly are, to your real self, to that higher self, to your spirit self, to get the direction and the guidance that you need. We've talked about allowing you to experience what's taking place in your body and to use that as an indication of where you're experiencing stress, where you need to examine a little farther to see what you actually are feeling. And once we know that, we're able to get quiet within, and usually just recognizing that, as we used to say in the old days, that I'm tripping, I'm coming up with stuff. Just having that realization, that understanding, that revelation allows us to stop and make a different choice, even on how we're going to experience this actual moment. So I want you to be very aware in the days to come. What decisions are facing you that you just don't have an answer for right now? And how does that make you feel? Does it cause you to become depressed or to become less energetic about a situation, about what you are approaching? Or does it take you back to a time that you felt that you'd overcome? Because if it does, there's still shadow work that needs to be done. We talked about shadow work in the last episode, and we've talked about it in the past. But it's about recognizing areas of our lives in which we've been hurt or disappointed, or the outcome was not what we thought. That may be, as some term it, triggering, that it would bring up another series of feelings, emotions, of memories, and you just kind of begin to spiral. So shadow work allows us to recognize where we need to concentrate, to feel what we feel, to understand what was taking place then and what is taking place now, to know that we have changed, we have grown, we have developed. We're not the same person that we were at that point that we are now. And we have the ability, we have the strength within us to overcome, because we've already overcome to get to this point. Over the next week, try using your Diamond Journey Journal. Becoming is a process has stages, by me, Dr. Anita McLaughlin. And note areas where you know The change has taken place and it's not necessarily comfortable. And as you note those places, sit still long enough to hear a plan for exiting those places and those stages in life. You have to recognize that you need help in an area in order to get help. So that's what this is about. It's about recognizing that the world around you has changed and is still in the process of change. That many of the things that we had relied on are no longer reliable. Many of the people that we had thought would always be there, maybe they're not anymore. Maybe we've lost them. And we are at a place in life where we're going to have to listen to what's taking place within to guide us out of the situations that we may find ourselves in. Again, it's not what's happening to you. It's not looking at it from a victim perspective, but changing your outlook, modifying that perception to be able to know that you have strength that you have never called on because you've never needed to. You have wherewithal and the ability to do anything and everything that you want to do, but it's going to require releasing the antiquated ideas and thoughts of the past and embracing what is in your future and in your present. It's learning that when the past comes up, to be able to look at it through the eyes of your understanding today, not that of a wounded child or a disappointed teen or a disgruntled employee. It might be time to leave that position. It may be time to evaluate within yourself what makes that decision so difficult that you can't do it, to find out where you are placing your trust so that you can move forward from where you are today. Shadow work is very important. Feeling in your body where you may feel stress, and then going and looking up what the chakra system is, what areas of the body are represented in certain areas that can give you a clue as to what actually truly is going on in your life. It's time to live in a creative space, even within your own life, to allow yourself to overcome and move into the life that you want to have. If this broadcast has helped you in any way, please like, share, comment, and join me on NoomVibe and on FanBase. Visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com. Get your Diamond Journey Journal. Becoming is a process. A process has stages. And work your way through where you are now into where you want to be in your future.